Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from LastStandGamers, and welcome. So today I want to show you around my Flak battery that was originally designed for a small scene of a flashback of one of the characters that was going to introduce into the survival series. If you've seen the survival series, you know that every now and then we do a cinematic episode where something big happens or it introduces a new plot into the storyline, and in this case it was going to introduce a new character. Now, we ended up killing this character off before he actually had a dent in the survival series, so this whole scene, this whole flashback just became completely useless, and I decided to cut it from the idea of the storyline. So I just wanted to go through this today, show you the flak guns themselves. So here's the first of the multiple batteries. The idea is there's two batteries and there's a central battery in the center. Now the main one for the cinematic is all lit up, so the cameras have no problem with the lighting. The other one's a more just background ambience, so you can see the guns firing up from the trenches as you're working your way around. So the cinematic would start, we've got the characters sitting down here on the gun, they'd be firing away, and then the character would be forced to get some ammunition from the crate, who'd be running down here. So we've got the fire, I'll tell you the secret behind the fire, it's just a big thruster, but as you pass by that you don't actually know, and it just gives that ambient effect that something exploded there and something's still burning. As you're running past down the trench, the flak guns are going off, and at this point there's going to be a massive ship that just flew over a head burning. If I get time and grab enough people together, I might be able to do this cinematic, even though it won't really have too much effect on the survival series sort of plot at the moment. So you can see we've got the first of the many red lighting just to help guide the character through the trench. So at this point the camera's on his shoulder as he's running through, and just as he gets to this point, this second gun turret was going to explode and all the crew would have ragdolled out of it. It would have just been a really cool little effect. So the actual gun turrets, you can see we've got the 38mm flak guns, like the German ones, pretty similar. That was my inspiration, sort of a Band of Brothers sort of flak gun field sort of effect. And on the top we actually have a little timer block and an ammunition case, but in the case of the cinematic these would be manned by people and rotated by people as well, where they can sit at the controls and move them left and right, as well as change the angle of engagement. We'd also have some fighters and other aircraft in the sky. Now, to make this a little bit more realistic, you can see I've dumped random ammo cases, so you can imagine that these slide out the back here, you slide another one in, you get some more ammunition cases. I mean, these are supposed to be the magazines on the side here, but I think for sort of Space Engineers reasons it'd be a bit more fun to just throw the magazines in there at the back. So the character then's moving on to the last trench where he's going to try to get some ammunition for that first flak gun, only to be actually blown up and disorientated. So we've got some more ammunition and various bits through this trench here. I just really like the idea of building these trenches as well. This was a little thing I came up with, I thought was pretty cool. Like you can see, we've got these small, I think they're called defensive walls or something, some sort of walls that come up every now and then. You don't really see them in too many designs, except for like catwalks and walkways, but by angling them at the side, they look like they're actually holding the earth up. So as we go to that final trench, you can see that we've got this flak gun. This is overheated. Both of the guns are like sort of burning up. You could say the barrels are gone. All the people in this trench would have been dead, of course, been hit by a plane that's firing above. And the other little trenches here, so we've got the central trench. Now the central trench was planned to have larger 88mm cannon turrets, but since they were in the background, I didn't really see too much point of lighting them up or adding too much detail to them, because from the other trench, all you can see is that you see the gun barrels, like the trench over there, actually just raising up off the ground. And then we've got the third battery. Now originally the camera was going to come out of this little door here. This door was going to open up, the camera would have launched out, and it would have continued going through the trenches as this fight was going on, more fighters flying over, burning overhead, and then it would have ended up around this scene where it does a classic sort of Call of Duty spiral up with the character dead on the ground, and then it just spins up from the battery here, as you can see it firing multiple points. Just look how cool that looks. Oh my god, I love it. You know, it looks super cool. It's not really super functional in Space Engineers terms, but saying that, in Space Engineers terms, not many things end up being functional due to the game's jiggeriness, so in many terms it's better just to have it looking beautiful rather than being super functional. So this is the final flak turret. We've not got anything in these trenches, these are just in the background like I said before, but we've got 3 more batteries firing up into the sky. I just thought I'd really want to share this with you today, because otherwise it's just going to get deleted off the hard drive, and I thought it was just a nice little creation. If you want to see this up on the workshop, let me know in the comments. There's not really too much to it apart from the flak guns themselves, a few modifications, and I'll put a world file up if you want it. Anyway, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.